What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video we are bringing you my version of the viral rainbow under eye look. This look was brought to us by Nars. I'll make sure I leave her picture right here. All of her information will be in the description bar below. When I tell you, from the moment she did it, everybody has been on her head. How do you do that? Tell us. Oh my God, what products, what colors, what shades? We need to know how to recreate that look. Everybody's been doing it that I see, and I'm like, Torrence, it's Pride Month 2022. You ain't did nothing so far, so I had to jump on the bandwagon, honey. This is my very first attempt. She did not come out quite as beautiful as I wanted to, or as quite as beautiful as Nay, but we had to go ahead and do it. I'm like, there is no way I'm gonna let Pride leave us without me showing y'all how to do it. So I pulled out two Glam Light palettes because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. I got the Cake palette and the Ice Cream Dream palette. If you all want an individual tutorial on either one of these palettes, let me know. But I had to do this, honey. I had to. Over the top red lip, tie-dye shirt, rainbow under eye, honey. The only thing that could have made this look even better is if I would have been able to go get my hair done, but I could not miss physical therapy for that. So if you all want to know how to achieve this look, just make sure you continue to watch. If you all want more inspiration, especially for looks like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But before we get started, please leave me a comment down below letting me know if you have tried this look. Once again, this is my very first attempt, so the next time I try her, she's gonna be even prettier than she is now. But let's go ahead and get into this because I've been talking long enough. I guess on my hair, she look all right, and with that actually sitting there like this creams. And I had to have them, sis. All five of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color green makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. Honey, I'm upset. Already started the day off. It's hot. It is hot in Michigan. So if you can hear the air in the background, my apologies, but it's the only way I can get this video done. But as you can see, we had already got started. Power shut off for about 10 seconds. 10 seconds. But in that time, camera shut off and didn't save anything that I had already did. So I'm like, all tools and products will be in the description bar below. I just gotta let y'all know what I did. Off camera, all we did was put on our primer, nose area, Becca Evermatte, all over the face, Maybelline Master Prime in 100. Took that, put that all over. Then for foundation, because I'm not sure, I heard Nars is discontinuing one of their foundations, so I'm sitting over here acting like a mother who's trying to get one of her children taken, like, no, you can't have them, I love them all. But today I decided to use my All Day Luminous Weightless foundation. I think I took 5 pumps of this because this is an extremely thin but full coverage foundation. So 5 pumps may sound like a lot, but I promise you it's not. What else? For concealer, Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer in the shade Golden Beige. I blended that out with my Beauty Blender Pro. We have that only right here underneath the eye. I did not take it on the lid. We got that in our highlighted area. And before we move on any further, because I want to do a rainbow bright under eye look today, what I've decided to do is go in and we're gonna brighten things up with, which one here? This is the LA Pro Conceal in the shade Flat White Corrector. I'm gonna take some of this and put this on the back of my hand. Normally you could go straight in with this, and I think maybe once upon a time I probably did. So you know what, we're just gonna go ahead since this is our personal one. And we want to be careful with this because white can take over very fast. We're gonna put some down first, and what I want to do first is blend this just strictly underneath the eye and bring it in a little bit on the top. So let me see if I can get y'all in view to show y'all what we're gonna do, because we can always come back in and add a little more. may need a little more than that and bring it up some. So now that I ain't scared of that, we'll go in. Because we can't show our pride, honey, if we ain't got no coverage. Bring a little bit of that up on the top. Why not? Let's go. I want my under eyes to be bright, 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 honey. And I'm going to take it all the way out, but not up on the lid. And I'm going to bring it down about partially down to the nose. As you can see, my under eye don't need to be this bright, but for what we're going to do later on, we want it to be there. Bam! And if you want just a little more, you can always go back and do that. We're going to go in and set our face. Normally, I would set my under eyes first because that's the area that's most likely to crease. But because we're going to go in and put shadows on top of that, we're going to do the outer perimeters of the face first. So I need to grab me just a little bit of powder and me a brush. And just to make sure things don't crease there first, because I already know that's where they're trying, I'm going to take my foundation brush and set my lid first. Because this is where it's going to be slightly darker than the rest of the face. I'm going to just take my same foundation brush, a little bit of the setting powder on a Real Techniques setting brush, and just go in and set my lids. Just because I know it's going to be slightly darker in this area than it is underneath the brow, and I will forget this area right here. And we're going to also just knock off any excess while we still have the time. And we're going to skip the under eye and do this around the perimeter of the face. I only want to try setting everything. I'm going to do the sides of the nose. Any area that you would consider contoured on the face. So the perimeter of the forehead, and underneath the cheeks. You can get the jaw and the neck as well. I forgot to mention I set the outer perimeter of my face with the Sacha Buttercup and Midnight Colorless powder. It's a mix of those. We're going to take the Midnight Colorless as well as the Buttercup Light mixture, and we're going to use that to set the inner perimeters of our face. What I want to do is just go in and set my highlighted areas. I am not trying to get the direct under eye just yet. I just want to make sure all the other areas of my face do not start to sweat off. So that'll be the chin area, even though we already set that. Right here, the cupid's bow, the nose, and the center of the forehead. Alright you guys, now it's time for the under eye area. We still have not set any of this, so there is still just loose cream concealer there. Cream concealer there. So what I want to do is just grab my brush before we start any blending and just press that out one last time because, baby, I'm in my mid-30s, so the lines have started. So I kept sitting back thinking like, okay, Torrence, which one do you start off with? The Ice Cream Dream palette, the one you've wanted the most to have all those pastels, or are you going to want a little depth and dimension by jumping into the Cake palette? I'm like, you know what, Torrence? You don't have to choose, grab them both, let's get it going. So, I'm not sure which brush we're going to do this with, but I think I'm going to start off with my Redford #1 brush. She's a tapered blending brush. She looks a lot like the, I believe that was the MAC 217 brush. Let me pull her up and see what she looks like, if that's what it was. I know it looks a lot like the Wayne Goss #18 brush, and I believe that is the MAC 217. I don't see it over here right now, but I'm quite sure that's what she was called. And we're going to start with pastel pinks because I think that'll be the easiest thing to work our way from. Instead of starting on the outer end of the rainbow where the reds are, I think starting on the inside will get it for me. So I'm going to take this shade here, Mochi. This is the lightest pink that I have in this palette, and we're going to use that to start right there on the inner corner and blend its way out. So let's grab us a brush and see what we got going. Once again, before we get started, I like to blend out that crease. Ain't nothing gonna stop that from happening until we put a powder on top of that. And we're gonna grab that shade Mochi I just start off right here underneath the eye and build it up some. Baby, and this color came out way more pigmented than I thought she would. And we want to try to keep things even, so we're going to do this on the other side as well. As you all can see, pink is a vivid color when you have yellow skin. And what you want to do is just diffuse those edges and sweep it out so that when we get the next color down, it'll be that much easier to blend. And I'm gonna take, do I have my brush cleaner? I don't see it, so I'm gonna just wipe this on the back of my hand. You could also use a microfiber cloth or a paper towel, and you can keep that going. Next up, I want to blend it to something that's more lilac-y purple. So we're gonna go into this shade here, Honey Lavender, and we're gonna blend that on top of the pink and bring it out a little further out, closer to the edge of the face. And once again, we just wanna make sure no creasing, and overlap that, bring it down over. Wee, honey. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I am getting scared, I am getting scared. I have never in my life decided, hey, let's put color underneath the brow, underneath the eye. Usually I'm trying to avoid pink and purples and reds. And my main thing is just trying to keep these as even as possible. Of course, as you blend up, you're going to cover one color. So far, that is looking cute, and I'm trying to remember my colors. It's Roy G. Biv, so I'm like, okay, what we going into next? Next up, I need something that's a very light blue, and the only shade I've seen here is Cookie Monster. I'm not sure if she's going to show up as blue as I want, so if not, we'll go in with another shade from the cake palette called Birthday Cake. But we're going to try this out first. Okay, Cookie Monster, let's get her going and let's see what she got going. Okay, the blue is coming through. And I ain't gonna lie, I might still want to put something else on top of that just to show it's a little more blue. But so far, I'm liking this, you guys. I ain't gonna lie, I'm still nervous because I'm like, I don't know how far out I'm gonna be able to get this blend going. But so far, she's coming out beautiful. She ain't the world's darkest blue, but you know what? For this look, I don't think we need her to be. Next up, we need to get us a green. This shade here, Pistachio, been calling my name, honey. And I need something, honestly, I want to do that mint chocolate chip because she seems a little more pastel-y to me than this. That's what I think we're going to do. We're going to do mint chocolate chip because I think that fits more into this look here. All right to you guys. Now, once again, covering that first shade, blend it up and out into the next shade. And now that we're down to where the nose is, I want to try to keep this up and above that nose area. I don't want to bring it down so far that then I can't get a blush color going. So we're going to start swooping up with this and leaving it like that. And honestly, I am liking the way that color came through because she really does look much more pastel than that shade Pistachio. And that blue is helping it transition over. Okay, now you can say things are starting to get a little dark for me, so we got to get back into those brighter colors. I need this yellow here. This shade here, Mango, she got to come join the party. Let me show y'all this one. This yellow, because I got yellow skin, she gonna help soften things up around the edges of this, help bring some of that color back, so I got to jump into her real fast. Baby, okay, now, around the edges of that is where I'm gonna put this yellow because that's where my skin tone gonna start to show through for this yellow, hunty. And although I did put that first line right here to help soften it up, I'm not gonna bring that yellow down no further. I'm gonna start bringing it up and out this way on the cheek. I don't want this to come down too far, but I don't want that green to be where it ends because green will look rather stark right there. Yellow will help diffuse and blend into my complexion. And you're going to certainly bring that up again to soften that bluish color well, it's more of a green with a blue base, but by diffusing this yellow into it, you can see how that's starting to soften her up. And as I diffuse the edges on the outside, that yellow will blend into my complexion a lot easier. Now to add more color to this, we still want to go in and add an orange and a red. I'm going to use that orange, more of a blush color, and I'm going to take this shade here, Orange Cream. It's the lightest one, and I'm going to use that on a blush brush first. I'm going to sweep that above this yellow color here and try to get that into my cheek so that things blend in and look a little more seamless. And to apply this shade Orange Cream, I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics. This is the number 4 Heavenly Luxe French Boutique Blush Brush, my favorite. And we're going to just take this, actually knock off some just to be on the safe side. And we're going to sweep this on just like we would any other blush. I want that orange color to come through, but I don't want it to erase that yellow. And as you can see, by just adding some there, it adds just enough hue where I can go back in and add that red color, and you can see it's not showing up over there on that side. So I'm not afraid to go in with one more layer, blend and buff that in. And that is so pretty how that shade, oh my goodness, like look at her, she looks like an actual blush, honey, come through. Just because I know we can, we're gonna go in with 1/3 layer just to be extra on her. Oh yes, honey, she is too cute. I'll be right back. And just because I may have softened up that yellow a little bit, I want to go back in, do it just the tiniest bit more. Because we are trying to be pastel, we're going to first go in with this shade here, Red Velvet. We're going to blend that in on the outermost point of our cheeks. And if we want a little more, then we can go in with the Cake palette. But I don't want to go in with that shade first because it is way too dark. I'm going to dust this off. And in the outermost point, I'm going to just try to get this going right around the areas where we want that to be a contour. And then we can soften that later. I just want to get that color right in there first. I'm going to just diffuse that up. We can go back in after we dust off our blush brush and use that to just help soften that color up there. Says she is feeling cute. Now we have to go in and soften these colors up because although she's sitting there, she bright and all of that, it's like, sis, I think you got a little too much going on. So let's go in and contour, soften things up. Gonna take our contour powder in Subconscious by KVD. I'm going to be using this to contour and sculpt my nose, my forehead, all the other areas that don't have enough dimension. Because baby, we need to be snatched. Got to hit that Cupid's bow, honey. Honey, sculpt out that 5 head. I might have been born with a big head, but I ain't got to show it off every time I step out. Gonna shrink her down just the tiniest bit, honey. I like to hit right there near the top, the highest point. Make that look just a little darker so my forehead don't come off quite as shiny as a movie screen. You see that? Yes, honey. Hitting that outer perimeter with that contour powder to help make this thing look a little smaller than what she naturally is. Yes. Gonna add a little sculpt to these cheekbones, honey. And the chin. As well as the jawline. Okay, you guys, I am sitting here looking at this look here and I'm going, Torrence, what do you see that needs a little bit more? And for me, I think the blue that I put here is taking over, so I need to add just a little more purple here and a little more pink and possibly a little more yellow. But when I turn, it doesn't look like I need more yellow. but I really think I need just a little more purple between that blue. So we're just gonna grab our brush if we can find her. And I'm gonna go in with a little more of this honey lavender and bring her down right here. I feel as if she sort of disappeared when I put her down. And just because I think we could go in with a little more green, I did have that mint chocolate chip here at first. What I think I'm gonna do is add just a little bit of this shade here, green tea, right before that yellow, just to help bring a little more depth and dimension to it. I wanna get just the tiniest amount of that. Knock that off, and then just come right here and help that green to appear a little more green when you look at it. And now that I'm sitting here looking at this, I'm like, Torrence, you need something to help tone this down. This is looking really bright, really over the top. So we're gonna go in with our Laura Mercier Kindle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. They normally come in a compact like this. Because mine had gotten so used to the point where there was a hole in the middle, I decided to just go ahead, grind it down with a spoolie, put them in some small containers here. So I'm just gonna use mine in loose form. But I'm gonna take shade number 2 first, and we're gonna use that one around the cheek area. Which do I want to do? I'm gonna take my Wayne Goss number 11 brush, and we're gonna use that there. But what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna take this and sweep this all over the face, anywhere we don't have that color there. And I need a little more across the forehead. This powder is just to add a glow and help soften up any edges. It does have a tint to it, but I'm not really worried about that because I try to use the color that is closest to my complexion. And when we want to add a little color, I'm going to go in with shade number 3, which is a little deeper, and that'll help bronze things up. But I don't want my skin to come off as completely flat and matte right now, so I'm buffing this powder, which has a luminous sheen to it, on top. Now that we have that going, I can go in with just a tiny bit of shade number 3, the same brush, and we're going to use that in the contoured areas, cheekbone, perimeter of the face, jawline, there, and I can do the sides of the nose as well. Now, to highlight things, we are going to go in with our Wayne Goss airbrush, and we're going to use that same powder in shade number 1. This powder here is a little lighter than my complexion. I honestly wish they would come out with a shade lighter than shade number 1, but you can't tell a brand how to run their company. You can only advise them on what you want. What I want to do first is I'm going to take this brush by itself plain, and I want to see if I can sweep anything off first. With this being the airbrush, we're just going to slowly brush this toward the outer corner, just to help possibly diminish and soften any lines before we go in with this powder on top of it. This brush is rather soft, and I don't see it disrupting anything. But if I can potentially erase a harsh line, why not? And you especially want to pay attention to those edges. Now that we've done that, I'm going to take this same brush, load her up with powder number 1, knock off. You see there's plenty of powder there, and then we're just going to sweep this right on top of that. I want you to see, can you see the difference between what it looks like with that perfecting powder on top on this side versus this side without it? This side just seems to glow a little more. It seems to be just a little more diffused than that side. Baby, look at her, look at her. Crazy because I'm sitting here like, Torrence, what else is there left to do? Eyes and lips, of course. I still have not done my eyebrows. We're gonna just grab our Fenty Beauty, what is this, the Brow MVP. We're gonna just brush this through our brows. Nothing too dramatic. We want the eyes to stay the focus, well, the under eye. So we just gonna fill her in and I'll be right back. This thing is getting rather low. I might have to go ahead and get me another one pretty soon. And on days like this, I really just like to focus on the bottom. Not really worry about it. Bam. You see how just by doing that bottom part, she already giving me some sculptiness, but we're gonna go in and add just a little bit on the tail end and fill her in. We ain't gonna worry about the front of the brow. For brow gel, we're gonna just use the ABH Clear Brow Gel. Use that to lock everything in place, honey. Ain't no point of sculpting the brows out if you ain't gonna hold them there. And you know, I like to use a disposable just so I'm not double dipping and turning my clear brow gel brown. I usually just pull them straight up and then just try to line them up after that because I ain't have them trimmed in a second. And I'm gonna just brush through my lashes first just to make sure I don't have any color or anything on them. For mascara primer, we're gonna use the Lancome Seals Booster. Just gonna take this, brush this through the top and the bottom really quickly. For mascara, I'm still trying to finish up this Mercier Big sample, so we're gonna go ahead and grab her. My finger would slip while I was doing mascara, which is why I got that black dot right there. So what we're gonna do is give that time to dry and we're gonna grab us an eyeliner. I'm not sure exactly which color I want to use, but considering the fact I got so much blue taking over on the lower lash line, we're gonna grab a blue liner from over here. I have never used this blue liner called Royal from Juvia's Place, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my lower lash line. Be right back. Put on mascara, eyeliner. Not gonna lie, this eyeliner is much more beautiful on the back of the hand than it is on the eyes. She is a little dry, but she is there. So now I'm sitting back like, what else we gotta do? Highlighter and lips. For highlighter, just because I've never used it before, we're gonna use the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb in the shade Rose Rave. I have them all, but once again, never tried this particular color. So we're just gonna take a fan brush and sweep her on. Not expecting, you know, a full-blown metallic highlighter like my MAC, what's the name? I know she's much more sheer, she has much more sparkle. And to me, that's gonna be a lot prettier today. Really want to coat the cheek with this color here. And I just want just enough for this to create a glow. And you see when I turn my cheek, not sure if that's gonna reflect there, but it's a little more shine going on right here now on the cheek than it is on the rest of the face. And that's all I wanted. Those pink sparkles are gorgeous, sis. For lips, I wanted something bold. So for the lip liner, we're going to use the Lip Bar Straight Face. This is a red liner just because I figured, why not, Torrence? We already going over the top. Might as well keep it moving. And I'm just going to line my lips. This is a very deep red liner, so you want to be careful. And it's funny how I tell y'all to be careful and I'm still racing through it. And just to make sure things is easier on myself, we're going to diffuse the edges of that liner. Okay, truth be told, she would be cute enough for her own, but I have not used this lipstick from Fenty Beauty yet. This is the MVP. You know, I love the fact that you can twist this up, pull her out. But I have not used this red, and you know I love me a red lipstick, especially from Rihanna. So we're gonna give this a try here just to see what she's like. Oh, and she smells amazing. Look at how bold and bright that red is, honey. If Rihanna can't do nothing else, she always can do a red lipstick, honey. Creamy, smells amazing. pigmented, not accentuating texture. Baby, I'm loving her. And y'all know I don't do red lipsticks too often, but any and every time Rihanna says she got one, I'm gonna be right there. And it just ain't no point in lying, honey. Every time I look back up and I'm like, Torrence, what's going on? What looks like it's missing? That purple looks like it's faded again. So what we're gonna do this time, instead of going back into honey lavender, we're gonna build into this darker shade here. This shade Ubi, we're gonna try to layer that down on top of this because, honey, the rest of the colors just keep disappearing and I don't know why. So we're gonna take this Ubi color and see if she gonna play fair with us. Let me knock some of that off because she is rather dark, sis. And let's see what she does right here. Yeah, see, that purple looks a little better than on the other side. It looked like it just kept disappearing and that blue was taking over the whole look. And we're gonna just make sure one last time, we're gonna go back in with our translucent powder, well not our candle glow powder, in shade number 1, our Wayne Goss airbrush. Want under eye to be nice and bright and luminous. And the one thing I forgot to do, highlight my inner corner and my brows, honey. Can't forget that part. We're going to take the same Rose Rave shade, actually, just to give things an extra pop. We're going to take this shade here, French Vanilla, and we're going to use that to highlight our inner corner and brows. I'm going to use my MAC 242 brush. Use that right there, very inner corner. Ooh, she is cute. I think you are getting that. It's just giving just the slightest white pearl reflection. It's nothing dramatic, but you can truly see that shine right there, honey. Oh yeah, ma'am. Let's put that on the other side. And then just the lightest layer underneath the brow. Yes, ma'am. She is fabulous. We're almost finished. All we have to do is set everything. So it's time to grab your sprays because you know I'm about to grab mine. Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All nighter so things will last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. I'm going to give this a few more moments to dry and I'll be back to show you all the final look. And here's the final look. I want to go ahead and give you all the full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you all, even though this look did not turn out the way I wanted to, this was so much fun. First off, let's get into the fact that once you finally spray everything, you know, with your setting spray, whatever spray you're going to use in the end, it suddenly seems to just melt into the skin. We already know it's going to do that with like regular setting powders, but at first you're looking back and you're going like, Torrence, the colors don't look quite as bright as I thought they would, and the blend isn't quite as beautiful as I was hoping for because this was my very first attempt. I've noticed most people took and they blended it down only about this far and then kept going out. For me, I figured, you know what, Torrence? It's Pride Month. You're just playing around. This isn't the look you're going to actually wear out. You just want to make sure you get it going. And I'm not mad at it for coming down this far. Like, it has my whole lower face going like boom, bam. But I can understand why if people didn't want the look to be this shocking, they would only take it so far down and then just continue to blend it out. But, baby, I don't think I've ever worn anything in my life that said gay pride quite like this. So one, I want to say thank you to Nay because the inspiration is real, honey. Like, you have the internet and the beauty community going crazy over this look. And for it to be Pride Month, I'm sitting back like, this ain't nothing I would just wear on an everyday basis. But going to a festival, going to the club, going to a birthday party, honey, I am just, I am feeling myself. I'm sitting here looking like all these brushes that you done wasted. And then I'm like, wait, all these brushes. Normally you use a transition brush, a crease brush, a lay brush. We got it all done with this brush. Every color was put underneath the eye with this brush except our inner corner, you know, color was this. But I'm like, to use, what, we got at least 6 different eyeshadow colors going and only use 2 brushes? Come through for it. And this red lip, y'all know I don't do red lips. I don't do red lips, honey. They are shocking to me. As someone who fell off their bike as a child, cracked my tooth, split my lip, the idea of seeing red around my lips reminds me of blood. But I'm sitting here looking like, hey, tell me that red ain't got them teeth popping, don't got those lips looking full and luscious, baby. I don't see any texture or anything. Many reds can be drying. This one is not. But I'm sitting back just feeling myself like, glam light. I'm usually not the fan of pastels, but if this is how much fun y'all having with pastels out there, we might have to pull her back out. And like I said, I couldn't decide between the ice cream or the cake palette. We used mostly this one because this is the one I've been waiting on. But the cake palette came through and helped save the day when we needed some darker colors. So if you all want a tutorial on just one palette or the other, just leave me a comment down below. I can get that going for you. I was deciding between these two and I believe the Dirty Martini palette. I still have that one, but we got to get this going because baby, she is fabulous. I think I need to record one more video today because I need another video to go up for you all. This video here, I'm going to try to get up by, what is it, Thursday the 9th, I believe. You're going to get this video. But I've been talking long enough. I got enough brushes to clean. I got company coming over later. Daddy is coming over. So, although he doesn't mind makeup, honey, I'm not trying to get red all over his face and stuff like that. So we will be washing this off. But, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need? Oh, completely forgot to tell you all. I had plans on doing a live tutorial with you all on Saturday. The thing is, I am not going to be able to get that going, not because I don't want to, but YouTube has changed things and they have let it be known in order to live stream from a YouTube channel, you do have to have 1,000 subscribers. I'm only at about 850, so I would have to wait till I get to the 1,000 to do so. If you all don't want to wait and you still want that tutorial, we can get that going on Instagram or Facebook because I do have pages there. It's just that if you all want the comfort of doing it on YouTube, I would have to wait till I hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you all want to help me get there a little bit faster, hit that subscribe button down there. Give this video a thumbs up if you all like this tutorial. Also, I'm going to make sure I leave Nay's information in the description bar below because she was the inspiration for this. You have to check her out. Check her out on Instagram, check her out on TikTok, check her out on Twitter. She is fabulous. And when I tell you, she uploads constantly. Like, baby girl be putting in that work. But I'm sitting here looking at my face, honey, like, baby, if you all did not tell me any better, I would be looking at this like, you sure that ain't a filter, honey? But y'all know I am completely against those things. Either the artwork is going to speak for itself or it's not. And I am looking at this like, baby, I'm feeling like a gay little, happy little, honey. I am feeling myself. It is Pride 2022 and I am going to be showing out. I've been talking long enough. It's time to end this video before I just keep on blabbling. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube. Oh yeah, see, I wanted to smile, but I wanted to make sure I didn't have red on my teeth. So I'm like, yeah, let's double check that. We got that? All right, yeah. Goodbye, YouTube.